morning. I'm Carlton Sharp, pastor of Faith Christian Center Church, right here in Beaumont, Texas. And we're here on what's happening in our neighborhood. And today, my special guest is Miss Shaquina Nobles. Welcome, Miss Nobles.
Thank you for having me, Pastor Sharp.
Hey, tell us a little bit about yourself before we get started into all this good information.
Well, my name is Shaquina Nobles, and I am the Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator for the City of Beaumont. I've been with the city for about 5 years now, working in the capacity of emergency management, and just doing what I can for the community. I am a born and raised Beaumont citizen, so
East Hill girl.
East Hill girl. That's right.
I know where that's at. I know exactly where she come from.
Yes, born and raised right here in Beaumont. So the citizens of Beaumont are really my passion. So it's easy for me to do my job and get this type of information out because I genuinely care about the people and making sure that they have a home to come home to.
Yeah.
And they're prepared so that they worry less while they're gone.
Now we're here today to talk about hurricane preparedness. Now, the hurricane season have already started, but we still need to be prepared. Now, of course, I'm praying that we don't have any hurricanes.
I'm praying too.
Hey, so what's the overall goal of the emergency management system?
So the overall goal of emergency management, regardless of the disaster, regardless of the hazard, is to ensure that we prevent people from being injured, that we save lives, we protect property, and we protect the environment. That's it. Just like any first responder, I'm telling you, you put a bunch of first responders in a room and you tell them they can't go to somebody that's in distress or somebody in need, you take the wind from underneath their sails. So we plan and we prepare because we want everybody to first go home with their life.
Yeah. Go
home with the same way they woke up this morning. We want them to go home the same exact way. And then we worried about the environment and the property for that. But that's the main goal.
Now, last year we had Tim Ochnercheck come on.
Yes.
Boy, that last name always gets me. It always gets me. But he came on last year to talk to us about, the hurricane and hurricane season. And so we're going to talk to you today. Now, we said that the hurricane season started June 1st.
Yes.
And it ends November the 30th.
Right. That's correct. June
Okay.
1st through November the 30th. That is the hurricane season. However, in our region, in our area, as we'll get to, is September, October, really beginning of August, mid-August, because if Hurricane Harvey hit us at the end of August, August, September, that is our peak time for hurricane season where we are often impacted, where we get hit a lot of times. And so even though, we're dead in the thick of it, we are actually at the peak right now for our people. So even though you don't start preparing June 1st like we encourage you to do, you still got time. As long as nothing in the Gulf, you got time. Yeah,
because Rita happened in September 2005, right. Humberto 2007 in September, Eduardo 2008 in August, Gustav 2008 in September, Ike in September, Harvey in August. So
August and September.
We're right in the thick of it.
We're right in the thick of it, Pastor.
Wow.
We're right in the thick of it. So now is the time. Really, now is the time for you to take action in your preparedness level. There's nothing that's out in the Gulf that's threatening our area right now. So it's not too late.
Yeah.
You can still be prepared and get your family together and get your plans together, where you're going to go, what you're going to do.
So what are some of the characteristics and hazards of a hurricane that we need to be knowledgeable of?
Okay, so hurricanes, they are really made up of three primary characteristics. One, they rotate in a counterclockwise fashion. Okay. The second thing is that they form that eye wall, that center of circulation. And a hurricane is nothing more than a well-organized, well-developed tropical storm. A tropical storm is a hurricane in the making.
Wow.
A tropical depression is a tropical storm in the making.
Yeah.
So hurricanes are really related to those tropical systems that are out in the Gulf. It is a tropical system. And because of that counterclockwise manner and because it forms that eye wall, we start looking at what's called the quadrant. If you were staring right down on a hurricane from 1,000 feet in the air and you split it into 4 quadrants, that upper right quadrant is what we call the dirty side of the storm. And the reason being is because that's where the energy generates. That's like the start of the hurricane. That's where you have more tornadoes that spin out.
Wow.
That's where a lot of the destruction comes in. So we're looking at where we are in relation to that right quadrant of the storm. You often hear it referred to as the dirty side.
So when we're looking at the map and it says, well, the right portion of it is gonna
to the east
of us.
Yeah,
that's the whip.
Yes. Yes, the hurricane is bringing the whip, and because of that, you know, we have we look for those hazards associated with each of those characteristics, because with hurricanes you generally have inland flooding, you have severe winds, you have storm surge, which basically is water that is coming from the ocean, from that large body of water, and dumping it right on land. That's what, when you hear the National Weather Service or Greg Boswick, as everybody likes to listen to.
You know, Greg's been here forever.
Yes. When you start hearing them talking about the storm surge of a storm, that's basically what they're saying, how much water that storm is bringing in. And because we as humans are, we're wind creatures. We're not water creatures. We can run from the wind. I mean, we can hide from the wind, but we have to run from the water. Yeah. Okay, I can't drink all that water, right?
You're from East. Look, you from East Gill. I know you can drink some water, because that's why.
But those are the hazards, you know, that we're looking at, and because of the characteristics of the storm in that right portion of the storm, those are some of the most dangerous hazards that are associated with that, and that oftentimes drives the response and what the preparedness level is, or the direction you're getting from your emergency.
Now Harvey was something different last year, because it didn't have much movement, and it just sat on top of us for a long period of time, and just, I mean, brought water from everywhere.
Yes. So I'll give you a little tidbit about Harvey there. Harvey hit Rockport, Texas, as a Category 4 hurricane. And it kind of went to that right direction, following that right quadrant. Yeah. That's where the energy is generated, right? And what happened was, by the time it made it on land, it actually broke up into, you know, basically a tropical storm. And this is the relation between a tropical storm and a hurricane, because everybody's like, Hurricane Harvey. Well, Harvey was forecasted for us to be a rain event. And they kept saying, oh, you're going to get about 20 inches of rain over a 5-day period. That averages out to 4 inches. If it spits outside, Pastor, we're going to get 4 inches of rain. So we're used to dealing with that much rain. We can handle, the city can handle that much rain. So you expect some localized flooding, but that's, you know, what we're going to get. However, with Harvey, Harvey kind of, the forecast changed that it was going to meander, which means it was going to stay there. And I said, I always cracked a joke. I was like, you know, Harvey must be a man, because it didn't ask for directions up out of here. It got lost and it didn't ask for directions.
Okay, hold on. See, now that ain't right. That ain't right, Shaquita. That ain't right. You know, okay, you're going to joke about Harvey being a man.
You know, y'all don't like to ask for directions.
Well, now we got GPS system now. We got GPS. We don't need directions. We got GPS.
Well, Harvey didn't have no GPS to get up out of here. And so what it did was it kind of dipped back into the Gulf, and it regenerated. It
energized again.
Right, and it still impacted us as a tropical storm, but it was a water maker. It was a water storm. And I remember the Thursday night before we got the heaviest of rains, because we had been looking at the impacts that it was having on our Houstonian neighbors. And so we were looking at the impacts that it had on them as well. And that night we took because we take several calls, and we were looking, and they said, you know, the worst of it is past. You know, you guys are, you know, y'all gonna be good. And we took that, and everybody kind of breathed a sigh of relief, because we had got it. It had already been like raining a little bit for the past couple of days. And this was a 4 o'clock, you know, conference call that we do for every storm, regardless. And so then they called us back probably about 7:30.
Say, don't put your guard down now.
They wanted all emergency managers and elected officials. They wanted everybody on the call. And I'll never forget, they said, this just popped up on the radar. You guys are about to get 20 inches of rain.
Wow.
Overnight. And you could hear.
Overnight?
Yes.
Not a 5-day period?
Yes.
We can handle 20 inches over 5 days.
Right. But it's like you're getting 20 inches overnight.
Wow.
And it just came up. This cell just developed from this storm over that, and we had already, you know, we were expecting that it wasn't going to get much worse than what we had. So it takes, you know, anywhere from 48 to 72 hours to truly evacuate or get people out of
Yes.
the harm's way. And so at that particular point, we knew that we were going to have to go through rescues. We knew that we were going to, our focus and our plan shifted from that general preparedness to, okay, this is what's going to be the response. This is what we're going to have to do, because we knew we were about to get slammed with a lot of water.
And I remember receiving a call and asking me to help to go down into the bottom areas and go knock on people's doors to go and tell them, look, this water is coming. It ain't no doubt about it. It's coming. You need to get out of here right now before it turns into a rescue situation.
Right. And so that night, we came, when we got that call that was coming, we got all of that rain. So typically when you get a lot of rain at that time, you can expect over the next couple of days you're going to have river flooding because it was so much rain. Well, we had more than that. We had the Pine Island Bayou and the Nature's River that actually flooded from the rain, from being swollen from all of the rain that we got. But we also had the waterways and all these different critical infrastructures that were impacted by Harvey itself and the ensuing flooding that came. And it started to flood because some places that in Beaumont that never flooded next to those canals, because they said we were about to get 20 inches in that cell, but over the 4-day period we ended up with 54 inches of rain in some parts of Beaumont.
Wow.
A meteorologist is the only person that can get it wrong and still have a job, huh?
That's hey. Okay, Chiquita. So how can we start preparing ourselves for those who haven't started preparing?
Right.
What steps should we start looking at as for preparation?
So you can do. I like to split it up. There's pre-season of preparation and there's pre-landfall preparation.
What we in right now? Are we in pre-season?
We are.
We in the season.
We in the season. But we're going to talk about pre-landfall preparation. And so there are some things that you can do pre-landfall preparation when you know that a threat is imminent. There is something that is in the Gulf and that's barreling down on us, and you have to look, okay? And before I really get into that, I'm going to touch back on one of them pre-season topics.
Okay.
And that is registering for evacuation assistance.
Okay.
And you can do that now. We encourage people to do that January 1, before hurricane season ever starts. But because there is not anything in the Gulf, if people have not registered for the State of Texas Emergency Assistance Registry, also known as 211.
211. Pull out your cell phone. Look, let's do this right now. Let me stop her right now. Pull out your cell phone and text 211.
211. 211.
211. Not 411. 211.
211. So if you register, if you have any type of functional needs, you are homebound, or you don't have a means or ways to get out, and especially if you require additional assistance, it's very, very, very important that you register with 211 before something is in the Gulf. Because that registry doesn't come to us locally until about 48 hours later. That registry is remember I said it was the State of Texas Emergency Assistance Registry, STEER, S-T-A-R.
Gotcha.
That registry goes there, they take all of the information, and they're going to ask you, are you in a wheelchair? Do you have PLED?
Special needs,
They're going to ask you all about those things, because that's stuff that we need to know. And then we take that information, once it gets to our level, we take that information and we use it as a planning tool. That's how we know who are our critical citizens are.
Gotcha.
That need to get
assistance.
Good.
That's good.
So if you do it, and it's a storm out there, there's no guarantee I'm going to get that, or our office is going to get that information. So it's very, very important that if you have not yet registered for 211 and you know that you're going to need additional assistance, if you have those type of functional needs, that you go ahead and you register with 211.
Now, they also could register for 311, and that's for the local emergency notifications, right?
Right. So 311 is different from 211.
Okay, 211 is the state.
Right. 311 is a local mass notification system. That is what the city uses to, when people register their cell phones or their businesses, even their landlines, they can register their number. They receive local emergency alerts. Those alerts come from our office. They come from, you'll hear my voice, you'll hear Captain Ottachek's voice, you can hear Mayor Ames' voice, and it is telling you of a pending emergency that's going on in your area.
Right.
And we use that number for if there's a hazardous material spill. We use that number. Whatever it is that's affecting you, this is not the Amber Alerts. This is not something that's going to immediately buzz through your phone. This is something that you have to opt in for.
Gotcha.
So you can call 311. That's the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
You can go to www.dstand,
S-T-A-N, www.dstand, D as in dog, stand.
No,
stand, T-H-E, stand.
dstand.
Okay.
.com. You can register for it there, or you can go to our website and register your cell phones, and that's to receive local alerts.
As a matter of fact, I think we're going to put that on the bottom of the screen in just a moment. www. There it is, right there.
Right. You can text or call 311.
Okay.
And that's to get local alerts, or you can register online at www.thestand,
T-H-E-S-T-A-N-D
.com. You can register there, and you will get local alerts to your cell phone, and that is coming from the local Office of Emergency Management. So if you live or work in Beaumont, and once you do that, you're done. You only register for 311 one time.
Okay.
When you register for 211, that's an annual thing.
Gotcha.
You
Okay.
register for 211 because it's the stand.
T-H-E. T-H-E stand.
Yes. You register for 211 annually just because people move, they relocate, so we have to regather those numbers every year.
Now tell us about the preparation for our home. I mean, there's some things that we ought to be aware of when it comes down to our home. Because
so for your home preparation, so we have an impending storm that's out in the Gulf, and you want to prepare your homes. You know, everybody's going to be out getting up the boards and boarding up those homes. Those are all great things to do. However, you want to be aware of electrical and generator safety. Electrical safety is you can assume or almost guarantee that there is a possibility you're going to lose power. So you want to go ahead and hit the main breaker of your home, because as power is restored and things come up, we have fires, we have electrical surges.
That's good.
So those are things that you can do to your home, and as you're leaving or you're preparing for the store, hit that master breaker switch. Go ahead and shut that power down to your home so you don't get a storm surge. That can potentially damage your property. And I also like to speak on generators because so many people can be dependent on generators. Everybody thinks, oh, I'll be okay, I'll just go get me a generator.
Yeah.
And they have all kind of generators. They have whole home generators. They're portable generators. But I always tell people that's not a sustainable amount of energy, because one, fuel for those generators can be limited. Whether it's natural gas or it's diesel or it's gasoline, it can be limited, especially if it's diesel or it's gasoline, because if you get a gas station that was underwater, you're going to have water in there, you're going to mess up your system. People are going to be pulling. It's going to be a lot of people gassing up, getting gas to go. So that's going to be a hot commodity, and you may not be able to continuously refuel that. Or if you use a natural gas generator, what if something happens in your neighborhood and your natural gas line is broke or something, so you won't have that? So I try to get people to be mindful of that, and the generator should not be a part of your primary plan. Okay, it's a luxury. Okay, it should not be a part of your primary plan.
Queen and I'm telling you, hey, there are people watching like, I got 2 generators.
Right, there's some people are telling you that, but when you have that, when you have those generators and you have to ventilate those generators, or you have things coming in, there is a certain level of danger there. And I'm not saying don't use your generator. I'm saying just don't make it a primary piece of your plan. Your plan should not center, your personal plan should not center around a generator. And then another thing you can do to protect your home, and not just your home, but your neighbor's homes, and that is prevent from backyard missiles. You know what a backyard missile is?
No, you tell me what a backyard... I got an assumption what it is. There's something flying in the air that's about to hit you.
That's right. Backyard missiles are those trampolines, those barbecue pits, those lawn furnitures.
That's good.
And so what I tell people down is bolt it down or bring it in. If you can't bolt it down, you need to bring it in.
Oh, that's good.
And because, like I said, not only does it protect your property, but it protects your neighbor's property as well. Because things get to flying. I remember for Hurricane Ike, for my house, we had somebody's trampoline in our yard. I didn't know where that trampoline came from.
What you say? I got a new trampoline today.
But that trampoline was actually lodged in the window in my house for Hurricane Ike, and we have no idea, even to this day, where that trampoline came from. So those are things that you can do. You can prevent those backyard missiles there as well.
So again, if there's, if you have something that's not tied down or put it inside your home or your garage, something to that effect, so it won't be a missile flying around hitting somebody, and hurting somebody.
Right, that's right.
And damaging property.
Now,
what about, let's just say that somebody has medication, needs medication. What do you recommend for that?
So what we tell people for that is, first of all, we want you to pack a Go Kit. And a Go Kit is exactly as it sounds. A Go Kit
grab it and go.
It's something you can grab and go. And it should include, changes of clothes, non-perishable food so that you can snack on while you're on the road, like your essentials, toilet paper, paper towels, those type of things. But you should also include your medication. And you want to include at least 2 weeks worth of medication. Because if there is a storm that impacts a community that long, you can expect for the community to be down, the pharmacies to be down for at least 2 weeks. So you want to do at least get you 2 weeks worth of medication packed with you and ready to go. And communicate with your pharmacist, whether you use a private pharmacy or even a commercial pharmacy. Make sure that they have your information. They have a sister pharmacy if you use those private pharmacies, so that wherever you're planning to go, there's a connection that you can be made. Or, bring your pill bottle with you, because your pill bottle has your script information. It has the doctor that prescribed it. So you want to keep that information and make sure that that's in your Go Kit. And then you want to include in your Go Kit any essential documents, whether it's your marriage license, your driver's license, your social security card, passport, your insurance. Those things need to be in your Go Kit as well. You want to keep those things in your Go Kit there. That way it's with you. And I suggest, what I tell people all the time is those Glad Lock zipper bags.
The freezer bag?
Yes. If you stick that, it's perfect for an 8x10 sheet of paper.
Wow.
So if you stick that in there and you put that in there, you close that up, you will be able to protect it from getting wet, protect it from the elements. Those are good tips that you can do to make sure that you have those types of things. Now,
Shaquina, you remember back in 2005 when Rita hit? I mean, and we were all trying to get out of here.
Yes.
But then that was a problem because a lot of folks ran out of gas.
Right. So what we have done, the state has implemented what's called a fuel surge plan. So all the gas stations that are along the evacuation routes, when you're traveling down 69 or I-10 and you look in the shoulder and you see those hurricane symbols, that means that highway or that road is an evacuation route. And so any gas stations that's along there, they top off their gas, those tanks, at June 1, and they keep them full throughout hurricane season. But you, as a citizen, what you can do to be prepared is to keep your gas tanks half full. Because, one, it's not as much of a pull on the resources that you have, so we're not running everything dry. Two, you can get, these days in these vehicles, you can get a lot further on a half a tank of gas than you can with no gas. And a lot of times you'll get far enough out to where then you can stop and then refill.
Right.
And you're out of the danger zone, or you're out of where you have a lot of people going. So those are some of the things that you can do. But we encourage you to keep your gas. If you keep it on the halfway mark, it's I always say a glass is half full, not half empty. That's how you have to think about it. You keep it on the halfway mark, and that way you already halfway there.
So if something should pop off in the Gulf, and we're not sure which direction it's going to go, the people who are watching today need to make sure that, hey, listen, let me prepare and go ahead and keep my tank half full.
Let's put some gas in there and at least get it to the halfway mark and keep it at the halfway mark there.
Okay, what about Fido, the little pooch You know, the little dog
so
and the little
your fur babies.
Yeah, my fur babies.
That's your family.
Look. And you said that right, because some people got these dogs and these little miniature dogs, and they are part of the family.
They are their family. And what we tell you is make plans for every member of your family, including your fur babies, because
your fur babies.
Because we do not want those babies end up, and unfortunately, we have people who leave their animals at home. They leave them tied up. They cannot fend for themselves. And any animal, I don't care how domesticated it is, will revert back to its natural state once it goes a period of time without food, without water, something to drink. And as you have firemen and police officers that are patrolling, energy workers that are rebuilding the city's infrastructure, you have to, they don't need to be chased or bitten by a bunch of hungry animals and cats and dogs and things like that. So make those plans. Wherever you're going, make sure you can bring pets. That's a good. I was just gonna say that's a good question to ask if you go into a certain hotel and you know which ones to go to. If you have pets, ensure that they are pet friendly. See if wherever you're going, if there's a boarding agency or if there is some type of a kennel service that can be provided. There, if you end up in a shelter, you want to ask the shelter, is there a place for animals? Because they're moving forward with ensuring that the pets and that people bring with them, they have a place to stay as well.
Wow. Okay, so let's just say I need to start making evacuation decisions. Some people wait until the last minute to decide to evacuate, but you don't recommend that.
No, I do not recommend that. So when it comes to the decision to evacuate, there are things that we're doing to make the decision to call for a mandatory evacuation. And that one of those things is we are looking at the local National Weather Service that services our area. Our area is serviced by Lake Charles National Weather Service. So we're in constant communication with them. We're in constant communication with partners at the National Hurricane Center in Florida. And we have conference calls with those. Remember I was telling you those conference calls?
Yep. The 4 o'clock call.
Yeah, we do one at 10, one at 4. 1 at 10, 1 at 4. We do that. We take another call, 1 at 8, 1 at 12, and that's with the State Operations Center, the Texas Division of Emergency Management. So we're on call with those people all the time, and as the storm is approaching and conditions are changing, it's increasing in intensity, it's decreasing in intensity. We're asking what's the surge that's associated with it, what are the flooding impacts, because those are the things that we have to take into consideration when we advise the mayor or the county judge that an evacuation order may need to be given.
Now, explain to people what it means by mandatory evacuation, because some people think that it's a suggestion.
No. So we offer mandatory evacuation and we offer voluntary evacuation. Okay?
Voluntary, you can get out on your own.
Yes, a voluntary evacuation, and this is something that I highly, 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 highly recommend. A voluntary evacuation is whenever we say we volunteer. If you want to leave, you can leave, you should leave. If we give a voluntary evacuation, there is a pretty good chance, a mandatory chance, of coming right behind it. And the reason is because with a mandatory evacuation, one, we're going to start in daylight hours because we have to be able to see. We have to organize and get people who can't get out, who have no vehicles. So those are the things that we're working on once that voluntary evacuation has been given. So if you have the means to get out, don't wait for the mandatory. Because once you wait for the mandatory, then you have to go the direction we send you.
Wow.
You can no longer take the back roads. You're going to run into the police officers. You're going to run into the state troopers that's going to direct you in one way.
And that's good to know, because voluntary, you can go any way you want to go.
Right.
Just get out of the storm surge.
Right. You can get out. Wherever you decide that you're going, you can go that way. You can move, and you can get out and go that way. However, once a mandatory is leaving,
you're going one direction.
You're going one direction,
and
then you have to go there. So we encourage people, don't wait for a mandatory evacuation, because just like we're reviewing those decisions and we're looking at that, you guys are looking at the news, you're looking at the local news, and the same information that they're putting out is the information with regards to the weather. It's the same information we're getting from the stores. We're getting it that we're all on the same calls.
Right.
Listening to what's the forecast, what's coming down. and what's going on. So when you can see and foresee and heed that, and you have the means to get out, go ahead and leave. I can't control your movement. If a voluntary is given, you can go and come freely as you please. But once that mandatory has been given, you have to evacuate the area.
And then, you have to consider your family.
You have to.
And your extended family, because, I mean, you got to get them out too.
Yes. And so when you make that decision, and I always tell people, if you have a friend or a family member that you can help, take them with them, because you are going to love them. You are going to care for them a lot better than someone at a shelter will. And if we evacuate them, unfortunately, we have to place them in a shelter. And those shelter situations are not fun situations, and they are not comfortable there. But like I said at the beginning, our primary goal is to make sure that you have your life and you are not injured. So that's our primary goal, and our primary focus. We're trying to get you to safety. So if you are planning to evacuate, grab your friend, grab your neighbor, go ahead and evacuate with them and take them with them, because you'll be able to provide that better care that they may need.
Because we had the opportunity to serve at one of the shelters, and it's not home accommodations.
Right.
I mean, they're just there to get you out of harm's way and provide the basic necessities for you.
Right.
And so when you're talking about your family, especially those who are having a challenge or having a medical issue, you need to make sure you get them out.
That's right.
Now, give me some generalities about hurricane evacuation.
So what we do, some of the things that I want to bring forth is that functional needs aspect of it. There are several people in our community that are bedbound. They are just at home. They cannot get out because of whatever type of medical need. And those are the people who we encourage to call 211, register with 211, and to know, so that we can know that they're there and help those people get out. And that's what we're doing. We're going and we get those out. Those people are usually going to go to some type of medical shelter, especially if they have a caregiver, they have somebody that needs to help them meet those day-to-day needs. So we separate those. They come in, they're triaged, they're given they're looked at by our EMS officials and our firemen, EMTs. They're looked at by those individuals and go. Now, they can request to go to a general population shelter. We put them on the bus and send them there, because some people, if they have a wheelchair, there's nothing else wrong with them. We'll send them wherever they want to go, but we want to make sure that they are healthy, because what's our second goal is to prevent injuries. We don't want them to get sick or anything, while they're there. So take that into consideration, and those people usually report to the Civic Center. And then individuals that don't need any type of assistance, they just don't have a car, they can't get out, they can go to the Westbrook Center. And the thing about that is that our city transit here, if you go to any route, if it's a street that the city bus passed down, once we issue that mandatory evacuation, all they're doing is picking people up and bringing them to Westbrook, because they don't have a ride.
Now another thing is, you need to prepare your car.
Right.
I mean, service your car, make sure the tires and
the tires, the brakes, the oil change. If your vehicle has been running hot, those are things that you want to go ahead and get fixed and get repaired right now.
Since we're in the season,
right now, since we're in the peak, you want to get those things done to your vehicle. Have those vehicles, those maintenance service, so you good to go. You ready to go.
But now, if you need public transportation, it's available to you.
Public transportation.
But you're going where they want you to go.
Right. You're going to that where we send you.
Okay, so now I'm out of town. Mandatory has been called. I got out, whether it was voluntary or mandatory. But now I see that the storm is gone.
And you want to come home.
And I want to sleep in my own bed.
You want to sleep in your own bed. You want to come home. So that's what we call re-entry. Okay? And trust me, we want you home. Our citizens are essential to our economy. They're essential to our population. So we want you to come home.
Right.
We're not trying to keep you
No,
away.
but y'all stopping me from coming home.
But we have to do an initial assessment of the city. Because I tell you what, when you come home and you flip on your generator and something happens and you get sick, you want to make sure you have a hospital that's open.
And the fire department
You want to make sure that the fire department can come and do that. So we have to do an assessment of the city, and we have to make sure those essential services. There are so many people here that are either on dialysis and they have some type of care. Those facilities, you want to make sure that they are up and running. So it goes a little bit more than, oh, I just want to be at home, because whatever state your home is in, it's going to be that way when you come home. And so that's why we push public information. We're telling people these are the affected areas, so there's no surprise. And if you put your insurance information in your Go Kit, say you take pictures of your home, you know what it looks like, you can already get the ball rolling just based off of the public information that we give you. So what I tell people is that we understand that you want to come home. Please understand, we want you to come home. We need you here. We need you in the city of Beaumont. We need you in our county, in our town. We need you here, but we need you to be able to live and be comfortable and be able to rebuild. So we have to make sure those essential services are there. So,
and that's good to know, because some people get mad at the police officers for blocking the highway and telling you can't come in. But they're checking roads, making sure that there's no electrical problem, you know, just all kind of stuff, just to make sure that it's safe when we come back.
For you to come on, make sure that the water is on, make sure that you have, at least majority of the city is with power, you know, especially those critical services like the hospitals. A lot of times this happens, and it's the beginning of the school year. We got to make sure that the schools can receive the children that you know we have. And a lot of people tell me, "Oh, my job tells me I have to be back. I have to be back from your job." And what we tell them is that any business that is essential to the essential services that the city provides, if they provide those type of services, they are in communications with the Emergency Operations Center. And we review those on a case-by-case basis. And they give us a list of their employees that needs to come. And once we say, yes, this business needs to be functioning operational, and they tell us these are our essential people that have to come back, we allow those people to come back. But we allow those employees, not the whole family that's coming with that person. It is that employee, because they are there to do a service, to do a job, and we're trying to make sure that we have it. Now, once the city gets the population and the essential services back up and running, everybody's coming home.
And then we go back to your registration with 211 and 311, because now you hit us with a mass text saying it's okay to come home.
Right. That's exactly right. We'll send that and we'll tell you the mandatory evacuation order has been lifted. We post everything on the city's website. There's usually a banner that goes across there. There's an emergency preparedness tab. Public information is coming out of that. And you want to use vetted sources. You know, the city has a PD Facebook page.
That's good.
There is a PD Twitter page. They have a PD Fire page, and there's a main City of Beaumont page.
And then all the local news organizations.
Right.
You know?
And so you want to use vetted sources. A lot of times people will take something on Facebook and they'll twist it, or they'll make a rumor, or they'll start, and it's not. So if it's not coming directly from the city source, if it's not coming directly from the city website, directly from the city's Facebook page, or city entity's Facebook page, then it's not a vetted site. And what I encourage people to do is start following BPD page now. Start following the city's page now, because then you won't have to worry about, well, is this a real site or is this a fake account or something like that? Because unfortunately, even during disasters, people they prey upon those communities that have been affected and the victims that we have there.
So now you could go to, like she said, go to the Beaumont website, www.beaumonttexas.gov. Beaumont,Texas.gov. You can find information there, and it has all the emergency links on it, the planning guides and the templates, the safety tips, the public service alerts, the 24/7 emergency information from the police, the fire, and the public health departments. Register for 311 and 211. All of that's important as we're in this season. Even though a hurricane is not out in the Gulf right now, hey, listen, it could pop up at any time. So we want to make sure that you get the information that you need. Now, I'm going to put Shaquina's information on the screen right there. If you have any questions, here's how you get in contact with her. It's right there on your screen. It's the Deputy EMC, 700 Orleans, second floor. Office number is 409-980-7285. Again, that number is 409-980-7285. She can be reached by email Shaquina.nobles@beaumonttexas.gov. Again, it's right there on your screen. So I'm going to leave it up there for a few more seconds so that you can gather all of that information, because it's so important that you know who to contact. And here's a resource from our city in telling us how we should handle a hurricane. Great. Shaquina, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Some great information.
Thank you for having me.
In our closing moments, what would you tell the people that's watching?
I would always tell people it's not a matter of if a disaster happens, it's when the next one is going to happen. So let's all be prepared, and let's work together as a community, and let's build together as a community.
Again, register with 211, state 311 with the local city here. Get the information that you need in order to make proper decisions for your family, for your friends, for your neighbors. Listen, I want to thank Shaquina for joining us today, and thank you for joining us on What's Happening in Our Neighborhood, and we will see you next time on our broadcast.